Hello, and welcome to Tales from the Backlog. My name is Steve Boshier, and I will be your game master for the evening. Tonight's game is okay. I've been saying Vaesen in the lead up to this, but I have heard people say Vaesen on other shows, and I looked it up on the old Google Translate, and I got almost 3 syllables out of it. It was like Vaesen, which it's Swedish, so maybe we're just going to say it any number of ways, probably. But this is a game I've been wanting to play for some time. If you don't know this channel, on Monday nights like tonight, we try out all sorts of different games. This is our first time in this one. And let's see, the last one we did, I think, was Challengers of Vanth. And then next week, one of you guys is running something next week, right? Might be Death in Space. That's what I thought. Death in Space. That'll be great. And on Fridays we do ongoing campaigns. Coming up this Friday in particular, we'll be returning to our main one, episode 5 of our Worlds Without Number campaign, Shadows of Arconia campaign 2, and that's about it for now. If you are watching on Discord, or if you're watching on Twitch, I'm putting a link to our Discord in the chat right now. If you're watching on YouTube, you can find a link to the Discord below in the description. And you should come join us, because we all hang out in there, and we like to talk to people about games and whatnot. Mostly whatnot. Yeah. So, before we get started with this Nordic horror role-playing set in a sort of fantasy version of the 1800s Scandinavia, let's hear from our players what they are playing. Jason, take it away.
Really, I'm going first, so I should probably get back into this window. So, yeah, I'm Jason. I'm playing Isaac Kaufman. I'm a doctor. I'm middle-aged. I'm motivated to aid the weak and the afflicted. I got into all this after this time, I guess, when a corpse reanimated itself while I was attempting an autopsy on it. That said, though, apparently I find some of the Vaesen kind of hot.
Oh, that kind of unnatural lust.
That's how I'm rolling with it. Because I was actually also looking at the Hunter, and one of the things I really liked with the Hunter archetype was that one of its dark secret options was has children with Vaesen. I was like, oh my, that's wild.
I just saw unnatural lust on there, and I was like, that could mean any number of things.
Could be any number of things, yeah.
Well, I had, in fact, defined it a bit.
Thank you very much. Mia.
Okay, Mia, I'm playing an officer, Klar Norden Morg. Military officer. I'd say maybe a captain, maybe a major. Not sure exactly which. I guess that's up to Steve. But my motivations are my friends need me. I've seen some horrific things. I also saw a dead warrior rise on the battlefield, so I know there's some creepy shit going on. I've got a dark secret that I've killed a defenseless enemy in the past, and my relationships are I would like to protect you at all costs, Isaac.
Oh yeah, and I trust Klar with my secrets.
And, even your dark one?
I'm also middle-aged.
Apparently you get to hear about me saying like, oh man, did you see that one? Like, yeah, it got away, but did you see the rump on it?
I'll give you a little bit of a, one eyebrow raise if I could, but, physically I can't. But I am also middle-aged as a character and in real life, yay. And I'm well off as far as monetary things go. So, yep, that's me, my pistol and saber at hand.
Fantastic. So what I have to say, oh yeah, You guys both mentioned being middle-aged, and I just wanted to throw out, I think it's very cool that that's a mechanic in this system. When you build your character, you get fewer attribute points if you're older as your body starts to deteriorate, but more skill points because you're more experienced with things. I thought that was very cool. There's 3 age groups, like young, middle-aged, and old, that you can build your character in. I thought that was a cool thing. I don't know that I've seen that in another game. If I have, I've forgotten.
I mean, not specific with these specific age groups, but that was literally part of how you build your character in Tales from the Loop.
Oh yeah, but then you're a child, so that does make sense. Yeah, I remember that.
But
now.
It was like 11 to 16, I believe. And like the older you are, the more skill points you have,
but less luck, or something like that.
It.
Yeah.
So that's a cool thing. What I am gonna do now is I'm gonna take down the cover of the book, and I will put up the map of the Mythic North. This is where we're at. If you know what the map of the world looks like, you may have recognized this as actual Scandinavia without any of the normal borders that you see on maps today. Nonetheless, they are there. Our story, I'm going to turn on some music. We're trying music for the first time on a Monday. We've done it on Friday. Tech requirements are a little bit different on Monday. We will see how this goes. Turning it on now. So, anyway, should be audible. Should be audible to the viewers. I don't know about you two. But you guys are part of an organization called the Society, and you are based in a castle, which the Society has had for centuries, which you came into possession of about 10 years after the last Society member quit. And you have refounded the Society, for you are both Thursday's children, which is a term meaning you are someone with the sight. You can see the Vaesen wherever they are. Not wherever they are. You can see them when they're in front of you. They are usually invisible when they choose to be, but you guys can see them even when others can't. And that is the basic requirement to be a member of the Society. All other current Society members are otherwise engaged when you receive... Here's your house, by the way. This is the city of Uppsala. You live there in a castle. All the other Society members are otherwise engaged when a letter comes in the mail addressed specifically, actually, to you two. And upon opening... that got loud for a second. Upon opening the letter, you find a flyer inside the envelope. No actual letter in it, just a flyer. And it says, "The Dance of Dreams" up at the top, with a little description that says, "A shadow play of horror, murder, and revenge. Let yourself be enraptured and terrified by shadow theater, with clockwork as amazing as that of the master's constructions on the continent. Watch as evil smiles, good people go to their doom, and spirits come to life. Follow Oscar Hjort's encounter with the Black One, his struggle, and finally betrayal which claimed his life. Hear the tunes of the enchanted flute that sends souls dancing to hell. The show will premiere shortly at the Witch Cat Inn. Not for the faint of heart." So that's what the flyer says. Let's have a quick learning test from someone.
Steve, real quick, do you have music playing right now?
Yes. You don't hear it?
Meredith says she can't hear it in the chat.
Oh. Okay.
I can hear it faintly. I don't know if maybe that's your mic picking it up, Steve? Or...
No, it's on my headphones. But the music is... Okay. It's got a lot of crescendos. Parts of the song are louder than others. I'd rather not hear it than not hear you.
Yeah. I can barely hear it for a moment, but not clearly. So.
All right. Well, I'll ride the levels as I can.
Okay. I just wanted to bring it up.
Appreciate you. It's being recorded to separate tracks I can adjust in post for YouTube.
I'm
So
not
you were
quite
saying,
the learned individual, Isaac. Maybe you should make that roll.
oh yeah, no, I'm definitely making this check. Maybe.
I'm like, I got my monocle in. I'm trying to read this thing. I'm like, this sounds very interesting. Does it remind you of any of our history or exposure in the past?
Well, this is not
Alright.
a super consequential
Society.
roll. Just
Okay, since this is a really consequential roll, I got a 6.
great. So what you were rolling for was just to see if you are familiar with the term shadow play, or shadow theater. This is a type of performance that was around in the 1800s, where literally shadow puppetry, but with really advanced like paper dolls and backgrounds and moving lights, clockwork involved sometimes. It's essentially a precursor to the motion picture, which hasn't quite been invented yet. Yeah, so this is a thing that people see in continental Europe sometimes. It's a little bit gimmicky, but it's a new means of creative expression that's happening. And this flyer says it's happening at the Witch Cat Inn, which is down here. Here is Uppsala up here, and the Witch Cat is way down here to the south of the city. So when you flip the flyer over, you do see some handwritten stuff on there. Someone has written, "Meet me tonight at the Witch Cat Inn," and it's signed Olaus. So, at this time, if you guys want to do anything to look into what's the Witch Cat Inn, who might Olaus be, or anything like that, before you just head out, let me know.
Can you spell Olaus for me?
Yeah, I'm almost certainly pronouncing it wrong, but it's Olaus.
Thank you.
You are welcome. I'm going to move the mic arm here. Sorry for any headphone users.
You get that thrum as the springs vibrate. I do not recognize this name, Olaus. Does that ring a bell for you, Isaac?
No, I don't think I've met them. I don't know if I know them. But I feel like this Witch Cat Inn is a place I might have been to before. That sounds like my kind of place.
Yeah. For the sake of time, if one of you wants to do a learning roll and the other an investigation roll, we can boil down any sort of poking around you do about this to those two rolls.
Cool. Can I do the investigation roll?
Yeah, go ahead, because I just rolled a 3 and a 4, and I have no. So, yep.
All right, I got 2 successes.
Okay, so as you are looking around town for clues about what the meaning of this note might be, it is morning when you receive it, so you do have some time to get to the Witch Cat by tonight if you wish. Ooh, very nice. Was that 7 dice on that roll?
Yep.
Investigation
and assessment are literally the 2 best things I do.
I looked away and then counted the dice in my memory, and I was like, wait, what?
Yep.
All right. So the in asking around some people that you know here in Uppsala, you learn that there is someone named Olaus in town who's kind of sort of in your circle. He's a private detective. His name is Olaus Klint, Klint. And he has a small house in the middle of the city, at which he is not currently there. He's made a name for himself as an expert in cases involving the occult. So you got that information. And then also asking around about the Witch Cat, it's only about 3 to 4 hours south of here, so it's not like a big it's not like a big distance. You can easily get there by tonight, and people know what it is. It's at the crossroads, as you can see on the map there, if you can see that. When the society was rebuilt after a big fire at the end of the 18th century, the Witch Cat Inn was used as a gathering place. And the innkeeper at the time, whose name was Piri Harjula, good luck with all the Swedish names tonight. Piri is spelled Pyri. And Piri was a Thursday's child. Not a member of the society, but was willing to host their gatherings. And today the inn is run by Piri's grandson, Sammy Harjula. So that is what you find. You rolled investigation. So you already succeeded at the learning roll to find out what Shadow Theater is. So I believe that investigation roll will still get you this last piece of information, which is that the list of society members that you have in your castle mentions a man named Oscar Hjort, which is the name on the flyer that you received. A character in the Shadow Theater is named Oscar Hjort. So there's a man by that name who lived in the late 18th century and was a society member. He worked as a writer and spent some time in Paris studying under Francois Dominique Séraphin, who was a famous artist, and put on shadow plays for the court at Versailles. So this guy was a society member about 50 years ago. So that's about all the information you can get without heading down there.
It looks like the train tracks don't go. We'll have to take a carriage or something, right, to get there?
That's correct.
Okay.
Well, real quick, do we have any kind of like societal library or records that we could look this Olaf up in?
Olaus?
Olaus.
Olaus, the private detective, is not a society member.
No, not Olaus. The guy who the play is.
Oh,
based
Oscar.
on.
Yes, that is where you found the
Oscar.
information about him
Oscar
that I already
Schwartz.
gave you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did the society's records have any information about what happened to him?
No, actually. His membership in the society is recorded, but there's no record of him quitting or leaving or dying or anything that you can find in the time allowed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So, if there's nothing else you would like to do in town, we can move on to the journey. Klar, anything you'd like to get up to before you leave Uppsala?
I have maybe a deal I need to go take care of.
Okay. And what shall that
We
be?
talked about my memento in the pre-call, so yeah.
Your memento was oh, I see. You know what? I'm gonna have you tell us what you're doing right now, because it actually may become relevant.
And I don't know if like Dr. Kaufman can help me out, but like due to a war injury and having been on opiates to kill the pain, I have an addiction. So I need to take care of that, get some supplies so I don't have any problems while we're out of town.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a doctor. I could probably get you a good prescription for some good painkillers. You know what's some painkillers amongst friends? Laudanum's, it's like a miracle cure for everything, right?
So
Yes.
I hear two different brands of help being discussed here. Yeah, Clara, are you going to take Dr. Kaufman up on his offer to get you some opiates, or are you going to continue to press for whatever the 19th century equivalent of methadone was.
Doctor, yes. If you can help me out, that would be great. Unfortunately, I still have this problem. I've struggled to try to break this habit. And yet it still haunts me.
Yeah, I understand. I can try and write you a prescription, give you a little something. Just, to ease the nerves.
There we go. All right. And so you get something from Dr. Kaufman to help calm the cravings for a while. And Dr. Kaufman, anything you'd like to do other than the investigation you've already done?
Yes, I want to get myself a set of knuckle dusters.
Oh, you may purchase some knuckle dusters.
So,
Nice.
availability 2. So, level between 1 and 5 is available. Equipment is mostly obtained through sound.
While you're reading up, then I'm going to take the time to practice and do some saber training with some of the junior members of the society before we leave.
Okay, so that will give you your advantage if it comes to combat or anything else you might potentially use a saber for besides combat, which, I don't know, get creative. Who knows?
Yeah.
What are you rolling on the knuckle dusters there, Jason?
Yeah, I'm financially stable, which gives me a resources of 4.
Okay.
The knuckle dusters have an availability of 2, so I need 2 successes. But I'm trying to figure out what this bonus is.
What bonus?
On page 73.
Let me take a look.
That will be your bonus to inflict damage or use the tool. I believe.
No, it's part of the modifiers from resources. I'm going to purchase equipment during spending capital.
Okay, man. I don't know what you're talking about then. Okay.
Yeah. I did not read the equipment section prior to the game.
Yeah, neither did I.
I'll just say roll your 4. If you get 2 successes, you get the knuckle dusters. Or if Clar wants, you got 1.
I got 1, but I want to see if I can push this roll.
Oh, come on! Don't push a roll this early.
Push.
You're gonna take a condition for that.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I was about to say, I believe Clar is very wealthy. Perhaps Clar would assist you in tracking down some knuckle dusters. I.e., Clar.
Yeah, I can help out. Yeah.
Clar, make a roll and see if you can hit 2 successes. You are well off. Is that right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, I see the bonus you're talking about. It's on the table. And I also don't know what it means. So what did you roll?
I rolled a 1, 2, 4, and 6.
I mean, like what skill or stat did you roll?
My resources.
Resources. Okay.
So each player rolls the number of dice indicated by their character's resources value. The number of successes is used to purchase equipment. For example, an item with availability level 1 costs 1 success. And you can donate successes to each other or add them together to purchase higher level equipment. Okay.
So for you then, Clar, you would roll 6. I still don't know what the +2 bonus is for. But you roll 6 for being well off.
Yeah, on the character sheet, there is a spot for a bonus next to weapons. I rolled 1 6 on.
Well, your 6 plus Jason's 6 equals knuckle dusters.
Okay.
So that's handled, and I'm just gonna hit the gas real quick because we got to get going. The journey. It is fall, aka autumn, when you leave Uppsala in a coach heading south, and there is a terrible storm raging. Black clouds blanket the sky with the wind howling and rain and hail pouring down, leaving you soaked to the skin. Lightning cracks across the sky and thunder makes the horses rear and whinny. But the coachman drives them on with his whip. The journey takes 3.5 hours, and the storm grows increasingly violent as you progress. Through the coach window, you see Lake Malar in the west, its foaming waves splashing against the shoreline. And we're about halfway through the journey. Before we continue, Dr. Kaufman, Klar did his sword training for an advantage. Despite the investigation and the knuckle dusters, you have not officially granted yourself an advantage yet.
That's because I'm doing it on this carriage ride.
That's what I thought. That's what you're supposed to do. It actually is on the trip.
So, yeah, I mean, Isaac's actually pretty good at riding in carriages, like enough so that he actually is able to sleep during, like, just sleep during carriage rides. And as he does in these few hours we're on the road, he has a dream where it's he doesn't remember it very well, but he does remember throwing himself in front of danger and risking his life for his friends.
Oh, that sounds like a very vague example. Yeah. All right, that's good. So you will have, if you can in the future, find a way to apply that little dream to a situation that comes up, you will have a +2 in that situation. So you guys are now traveling through a pine forest, tall trees being knocked to the ground by the tempestuous winds or split by lightning strikes. I think at the point where trees are being split by lightning strike, even Isaac wakes up. In the flashes of lightning, you see large rocks among the trees, moss-covered lumps staring back at you. Suddenly, the Witch Cat Inn appears at a T-junction, surrounded by woods with Lake Malar to the north and west. It seems to be the only building around. The coachman is eager to drop you off and continue on his route south. Halfway between the inn and the small community in the distance, you see a lonely church tower protruding from the trees. So, I'm not sure if that church is on the map, but yeah, you are at the Witch Cat, and about halfway to Sigtuna, you can see a church. Just the tower coming up through the trees.
Well, aren't we going to the Witch Cat?
Yes, you are.
Then why did we pass the Witch Cat?
You didn't. You can see the church from the Witch Cat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This, just for a scale, this whole drive from Uppsala to Witch Cat is 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
So it's not, you're not seeing 100 miles away.
No.
There's like 2 little tufts of grass right there. Maybe that's right.
Yeah. So as you arrive at the inn, like I said, it's the middle of a thunderstorm. Your clothes are soaked because you've now gotten out of the carriage. And let's see. You see a man sitting out under the eaves of the inn, smoking.
Well met, mister.
Ah,
We're here for the performance, the shadow play.
are you indeed? Did you get a flyer?
Isaac pulls the flyer out of his vest.
And could I perhaps see the back of that flyer?
And you are?
My name's Olaus. Olaus Clint.
Ah, you're the man we're here to see.
Indeed. You must be Captain Clar and Dr. Kaufman.
That is us. Thank you, sir. You wouldn't happen to have any more of that tobacco?
Yes, indeed. If
My-
you have a
my
dry
pouch
pipe
got
to smoke it
wet.
in.
Yes, my pouch got wet on the way here.
Well, partake, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I, like yourself, am interested in matters of the, shall we say, abnormal. As they say of your society, I myself have the sight. I see things that others do not. I contacted you because just a few days back I visited this inn. And I felt a power that frightened me. I would very much appreciate your help in figuring out what's going on. There's something sinister at this inn, and it was... I feel it is beyond my abilities to investigate alone.
Well, it's good you have contacted us, sir. Has our society not extended an invitation for you to join?
No, I have not gotten such an honor. Which I hold against no one, of course. I am not a well-known man, but I'm interested in such things, and I would very much like some assistance, as I said.
Perhaps if this plays out in our favor, we can put in a good word for you, my kind sir.
That would be much appreciated.
So, what exactly is going on at this place? Or
There
perhaps we
is...
should retire inside to continue this conversation.
Indeed. He dumps out his pipe. We'll head inside with you if you are ready to do so. Even though I think Clar just lit up, so maybe you won't stay hang out.
Clark,
Give me one moment.
There
We'll
we go.
step inside.
Clark.
I would say during the conversation, I'm like scratching out the bowl, and I don't quite get there. And I'm like, well, I packed a pinch of tobacco in it after cleaning it, and then slip the pipe back into a pouch.
All right, there we
I'll
go.
partake of this fine tobacco later. It has a nice aroma.
Yeah, you know more about how pipes work than I do, apparently. Yeah, so... I would like an observation test from both of you, please.
Observation. Let me see. Ew, not one of my best skills. Hey, a total of 6 out of 2 dice.
ooh, so close.
No successes?
Nope. Got
Okay.
a 1, 2, 3, and a 5.
Okay.
As I cleaning my monocle, blinking against the wet from the rain.
Isaac really wants to get in. He's probably a little hungry. This is an inn. We can get some food and drink here, right?
Oh, absolutely, yes. There's a kitchen that's always working.
And we can discuss our issues over supper.
Indeed,
Yes.
indeed, sir.
We should probably book a room while we're here, because I don't see us returning home this evening.
Well, in this rain and the distance you've already traveled, I imagine not. So you guys can go inside. As you enter, I'm actually going to bring up... Hold on, let me bring up the map of the place. So some of this you haven't seen yet. Whoops. But this is the map of the place as you've seen it so far. Dining room here. As you came up, you saw the stable, which is a separate building here. And there is another building back here, which on the map says the conservatory, but you can't actually see what it is, just that it's very dilapidated. So you come in here to the dining room. This door is the one you were just standing outside of. So you go in there with Olaus. And looking around the dining room, you see a number of other guests here. There's a sort of middle-aged man who looks a little bit drunk already. Has the look of maybe a farmer. And another person, a woman, who is sitting kind of with her back to the wall. Actually, with her back to the corner, looking out at everyone in the room, sipping on what appears to be water, and just eyes darting around furtively. And then there is also a priest sitting at yet a third table, eating dinner, with a very... I don't know, he's not looking at anyone in particular, but he nonetheless has a very stern look on his face as he eats his stew. And then there's a waiter who is rushing about, wiping up spills and bringing people what they need. And a young girl behind the bar. Along with an older man who, from the looks of things, might be her father. In fact, let me put those two up.
The priest's table, is there room for the three of us to sit with him? If so, I will inquire.
Well, you are...
Okay to join him.
I'll remind you, you came in here with the purpose of having a conversation with Olaus. Do you want to sit with another person before you do that?
Probably not a good idea.
Yeah.
I was going to hit him up for information, but yeah, we'll find an unoccupied table.
These two characters I've put up here are behind the bar. The girl is about 16, and the man appears to be a relative, probably her father. So,
Table for three?
they do not know your weird custom of saying a table and a number of people at it. But Olaus will just sit down at an empty table. Let's see. So, what was your question to Olaus specifically? Like, what's going on here?
I just figured we could talk about whatever he wanted to summon us here for, inside, out of the rain, with some warm food and good drink.
Yeah. Okay. You guys can absolutely order food and drink. It will be brought to you by the waiter, whose name you learn is Sven. He's very tall and thin. He's a little bit like a younger version of Lurch from the Addams Family. Soft-spoken. Looks at you curiously. But brings you your food, brings you your drinks. And Olaus, he reiterates what he said outside, that he was here a few days ago, and he experienced an overwhelming feeling of dread that something was wrong with this place. He also reveals that after doing some investigating of his own, he's learned that recent guests at the inn have all been having horrifying nightmares. And he suspects Vaesen activity. not only does he suspect it, but he will openly admit to you that he believes it is very powerful, or he would not have called for help.
Does this growing sense of dread, is it new to this inn, or is it something that has arrived with the Shadow Theater?
The Shadow Theater. Oh, I had not thought to correlate the two things. My understanding is that Sophia, the girl there behind the bar, is the proprietor of the Shadow Theater, and well, from the way she handed me the flyer, the manner in which she did it, I suspect her father is not aware of it, and that she wishes him to remain unaware of it. I used the flyer to summon you here because she circulated it all throughout Uppsala. Many people have gotten this flyer, and yet she has managed to keep her father in the dark. I do not know, to answer your question, I do not know if the Shadow Theater has anything to do with this Vaesen activity or not, but it's an interesting question. I suspect not. This girl is just a teenage girl disobeying her father, as teenagers are wont to do. I do not know the answer to your question.
Yeah, he looks to be a fairly the stern type. Maybe not so fond of the arts.
Perhaps you are correct. There are those who look down upon the arts because they believe people should do real work for a living. I don't know if he is such a man. I have not spoken with him about that.
It's like cat loving time up in Jason's place.
I honestly, I don't think Strellick even warrants the title guest star at this point. He's just on the show.
He's just on the show.
He was just being needy. Have you? So yeah, I just want to. Olaus, have you been here long? Like at the Witch Cat Inn?
I passed through a few days ago and left in something of a hurry. The sense I had of the place frightened me, but I thought it my duty to return and investigate, and at that point I did send you the note. At this visit, I have been here one night.
Pardon?
I have been here one night this visit.
Okay.
And previously also one night.
I mean, do we feel any presence here yet?
Is there a skill for such a thing? Let's see.
Vigilance?
Food?
Or,
Vigilance is a logic skill, so I would say no to that for sensing a presence. You know what?
Observation.
Observation, yeah. This will be difficult.
Yeah.
I will require 2 successes for this.
Oh, I'm not going to get that unless I get super lucky here.
I'll try it.
Looking around the room, taking a few deep breaths. Oh, there's a single 6. Okay.
And that's a zilch for Kaufman?
Kaufman got 1.
Okay. So neither of you can confirm or deny what Olaus is saying. Maybe there's a little bit of hair standing up on the back of your neck kind of thing, but no more than you might get if you were being followed down an alley. Like, it's not necessarily like there's some huge demon here. You can't say for sure.
Yeah.
I sense no malice here this time. Could just be that I'm on edge, having traveled for 3 hours and not really feeling horribly relaxed at this time.
As you mentioned, being still on edge, not relaxed, you realize part of the reason for that is that the storm seems to have followed you in. This place is leaking bad. There's water coming down from the roof in several areas, pouring into pots and bowls. It almost looks like no one has done any maintenance on this place in years, even though it's clearly in operation. The innkeeper himself and his daughter are both dressed up presentably. The guests are all the same, but the building itself seems to be falling apart.
Unusual that they would not at least fix the roof.
Do you say that out loud?
I'm tired of the rain. Yeah, I'm tired of the rain.
Well, Sven, Sven the waiter overhears you saying that. And he says, "Oh yes, the roof. Sammy has fixed the roof 3 times this past month. It just continues to break. He can't keep up with the leaks. He's practically going broke trying to keep this place together."
That's very suspicious. I can't imagine the roof breaking that many times in such a short period. There must be something more to it than just ill repair.
Well, I do not know. This place has stood since the time of Sammy's grandfather, at least, but I see no reason. I've been up there myself. I've been helping him with the roof. It looks like it was done correctly, but things just keep falling apart. It's most
Sammy
odd.
is the patriarch behind the bar.
That's right. Sammy, you would suspect, being part of the culture here, that Sammy is short for Samuel.
And that's me that's Isaac asking Klaus.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Sven,
yeah, he is
the patriarch behind the bar.
Yes. Yeah, you actually already got that name from Olaus, I believe. I think I said that. But yeah.
No, we got Sophia.
Yeah, Sammy and Sophia are the patriarch, the owner and his daughter. Yeah. And from your investigation back in Uppsala, you know that Sammy's grandfather used to own the place and was the person who was a Thursday's child himself, and Piri was his name. And,
Piri Rajula.
Yeah, and he used to host gatherings of the society here in the time of his grandfather.
So I'm interested in speaking to Sammy then.
And
ask
Sven,
him if he knows.
how long has the roof been leaking like this?
Oh, I would say the building began to suffer seriously start of the year. It now being fall.
Yes. So a number of months.
Number of months, yes. He has fixed it a great many times. But I promise you, our service leaves nothing to be desired. We are. He seems as though he suddenly realized that he's talking down his place of employment. He's like, we deal with the roof, but we are here to serve you, and your beds and meals will be as hearty as any you can get anywhere. Excuse me. And he wanders off.
I'm always up for a hearty bed.
Yes, the heartiest.
Well, I wait for him to leave.
Olaus kind of giggles as you say that. No, he's not really a giggler. He kind of guffaws.
In a very, enjoy your meal, you too, sort of way.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Okay.
The stew is quite tasty.
And hearty.
Yes, and the ale is good quality. It is unfortunate that they are experiencing the state of the roof. I kind of lean in close. It's like, I would suspect that maybe there's a Vaesen at work here, causing
Yes,
such a
it's
problem.
very intent on ruining their business.
Yeah.
And especially if his grandfather hosted meetings here for the society. There may be something that has ill will towards the family. A curse, you might say.
And that may be. I was unaware the grandfather hosted meetings of the society. What was this man's name?
Paris Rajula?
Oh. The grandfather of Sammy, you say. This is news to me. I suppose you have this information from your society records. I was unaware of it. I only passed through here myself the first time a few days ago. I've been up this road before, but I have not stopped at the inn until then.
So, where did you first feel this presence in the witch cat?
I must say, put that way, it would have to be the first time I went upstairs to my room.
You
Then
still have that.
Perhaps we should finish up our supper and then head up to some rooms.
Perhaps we should. Captain Nordenmorg, you had said a few minutes ago that you wanted to speak with Sammy. Are you going to get up and do that?
Yes.
Or
I would like to.
perhaps any of the other guests or anything?
I want to speak to the proprietor. Yeah, I'll speak to him directly.
Okay.
As the
Yeah, he's behind the bar, so you'll have to go over to him to speak to him. Hello. Welcome to the Witch Cat Inn. Will you be taking rooms tonight?
Yes, me and my associate, Dr. Kaufman, will be needing rooms. Yes, sir.
Separate rooms or one?
I believe separate rooms would be most appropriate, sir.
Ah, very well, very well. And he will send his daughter upstairs to make up a couple rooms for you guys. He seems, from your read on him, especially now that you're speaking to him, he seems like he takes his job very seriously and takes it very seriously to manage both the house and the guests well. He looks like someone who turns it on when you start speaking to him, as it were. He's short, stout. He's somewhere in his late 40s with a big beard, blue eyes. He talks very loudly.
I'm going to say, as a military man, I see that your inn is well kept. And then I kind of like roll my eyes up to the ceiling, except apparently you're having some silly roof problems, sir.
Yes, I regret to say that the roof is falling apart. I aim to have the entire thing replaced as soon as I can. I've repaired it a number of times, but do not let that fool you. It's only here in the dining room that the roof is leaking at this time. There were some leaks. There were some leaks upstairs. We fixed them. And at this time, you may sleep soundly in the rooms that I have sent Sophia to prepare. Sophia is my daughter, and she is the one that you saw me send upstairs. She will take care of you, as will I, as will Sven the waiter. Anything that you need, simply let me know.
Yes, I do appreciate that, sir. I understand that this inn has an interesting history. Can you tell me anything about it?
What do you mean by history?
Oh, from what I understand, many years ago, maybe a father or a grandfather would hold meetings here.
I'm sure I do not know what you speak of. Give me an observation roll, please.
Oh, yay.
You got this. You got this.
Hey, there's a total of 5 on 2 dice. I'm
Um,
not the most
So
observant.
it's 6 and a -1.
Yeah.
well, you may not be the most observant. You have been in the military. You recognize when someone is thinking about killing you, but you don't know why.
I'm going to lean heavy on the counter and say, "Well, I obviously have offended you, sir. My apologies."
No apologies necessary. You have not offended me. I simply do not know what you speak of.
Oh, well, I do appreciate your time, sir. I believe I will retire to my room shortly.
Very well, very well. Sophia, at which time she reappears. Have you finished preparing the rooms? She stammers. Yes, yes, father, I have. And she will show you upstairs if you want to go.
After you, Miss Dr. Kaufman.
Oh, Dr. Kaufman wants to actually he wants to go upstairs, but he actually kind of wants to hang back a little bit, take a bit of a circumlocucious route around the dining room,
Okay.
and have a few words with this lady watching from the corner.
Okay.
He wants to kind of approach her sideways, and just so. Anything interesting you're observing?
What are you talking about?
Just that you're literally sitting in a corner watching everyone in the room?
A woman traveling alone can't be too careful.
That is true.
What do you want?
Just have you observed anything interesting going on?
I observed 2 travelers, both men, coming in the middle of a rainstorm, soaking wet, one of them tucking a pipe into his pocket.
Yes, we did. We also ate. We had stew, we had some ale.
You're still dripping water on the floor.
That is to be expected. It is, well, I believe the Americans call it raining cats and dogs.
That doesn't make any sense. I hate Americans.
You know what? You're not wrong for that.
Why are you talking with me? I don't mean to be rude, but if you're looking for someone to spend the night with, look elsewhere.
Oh, my dear, I have no interest in spending the night with you. But you seem like a someone keenly observing that which is going on around them.
I do what I can.
And I thought perhaps I could partake of your... Yeah? Yeah? Okay. Yeah, your food's over there.
Starring Strelick.
I thought perhaps I could gain some insight through your eyes as to anything out of the ordinary that is going on in this inn.
Are you a cop?
I'm a doctor.
Dr. Cop?
No, just doctor.
What kind of insights are you looking for, Doctor?
Whatever keen insights that anything that seems wrong.
Have you sat down at her table?
No, I'm just kind of standing next to it.
Okay, that's what I thought.
trying to talk casual, trying to be casual about the whole thing.
Well, I think that this place is on hard times. If that's what you want to know, that's my keen insight. If you hadn't noticed from the pots of water around the room.
Well, I've been informed that that's only the roof over the dining room.
Well, today it is. Yesterday, the bedrooms were leaking.
Interesting.
That man spends almost as much time up on the roof as he does down here. And when he's not on the roof, he's fixing something else. He replaced a floorboard the other day.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll be out of here tomorrow. It's none of my concern.
All right. Fair enough. But, my dear lady, thank you for your time. And I'll start walking off, heading upstairs.
Have a good day.
Well, have a lovely evening.
Right, evening.
You say, while Sophia's like showing me to my room, I'll ask her about the Shadow Theater. It's like, from what I understand, there's a show. Is that tonight or is it another night?
It's tonight. Well, it's supposed to be. We're not starting yet. A couple of days, but did you get a flyer?
One did find its way into my hands. Yes.
You're the first to show up from the flyers. She looks actually really excited now. I'd hoped that a lot of people would come at once. It's going to be hard.
Is there a problem, young lady?
My father, he doesn't care for this sort of thing. I'd hoped if a large enough audience came at once to spend money at his inn, that I could convince him that it's, something worth doing. But if it's just you two, that your friend has come to see the show as well?
Yes.
I'll tell you the truth, I wasn't expecting anyone until tomorrow, but the show is ready. We can run it tonight. It's up in the attic. Don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone. Don't get me wrong. Tell everyone, just not my father.
Well, yes, your father seemed rather perturbed with me when I asked him about the history of the house.
Oh, yeah, he will get that way.
Is there something that he wishes to not reveal? Is there some dark secret?
Dark secret? No.
I know it is not my place to ask you to speak ill or say things about your father. My apologies, ma'am.
My father is... Well, he's just a man who is very committed to his work, and very little else. But
I understand, and I can respect that. As a military man, I know how it is to be dedicated to a certain cause, if you might say.
Yes. Well, I'm very excited and very grateful that you've come to see the show, and it really is better than you think it is. I know you see the state of the place and you think, what could possibly be in the attic? But I've worked so hard, and I'm very excited to show it.
My friend Dr. Kaufman should be following me up soon. Please pass the word on to him that you may put on a special viewing for us tonight if he's so interested.
Oh, I would love to, yes. Yes. Kaufman, the man who came in with you.
Yes.
Ah.
The other sopping wet gentleman, yes. Yes. This rain is so terrible.
Yes, well, stay. Do mind the ceiling. And, good night. And she goes downstairs.
This is a fine room. Thank you, man.
She's already. Oh, you're welcome. Call if you need anything.
If she turns her attention to him, I'm going to flick her a coin, or just kind of like toss her one through the air.
Thank you.
Whole penny.
Yeah, whatever a coin is worth. Whatever a coin is worth in 1800s Sweden. Yeah, so Dr. Kaufman, she will come back downstairs. And I am actually going to request of you two that we take our break a little early tonight.
Okay.
Because I need to make a little bio break. But we'll be back in 15 minutes or 10 minutes, and we'll see everyone then, and we'll figure out what Dr. Kaufman's doing with the rest of his time. Peace out.
Thank you.
All right, we're back. Sorry for the early break there, everyone. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. But as we left off, we had Dr. Kaufman in the dining room of the inn. He just finished speaking to the woman in the corner, whose name you didn't even get. No. And Sophia coming back downstairs. And she will hurry over to you. Where are you at when she comes down?
Probably partway like across the dining room floor.
Okay.
We're passing it between this priest and this farmer who are munching down on their food.
That's right. I was just going to recap who's sitting at tables, but you've obviously got it. So there you go. Are you heading to one of them, or are you heading to the owner at the time Sophia enters?
You know what? I was thinking about heading towards the owner.
Okay.
But, I just got this vibe that maybe what I was going to bring up maybe isn't the best thing to bring up with him. And I will flag down this young woman.
Yeah, she's actually already heading right towards you in a beeline.
And ask her if she knows where I am sleeping tonight.
Yes, I have your room available upstairs if you'd care to see it now.
Oh, excellent. I was worried my companion was putting me in the stable tonight.
Huh? No, we wouldn't let him do that. You sleep where you say you sleep. So she'll take you upstairs, and let me just get the second floor here. Yeah, so you come up the staircase here, and we'll say that Clara has been put in this room, and Isaac, yours will be the next one over. Is everything to your liking, sir?
Well, so quick internal observation. Where do is there a place to poop in this room?
No, this is the 1800s. I think you got to go out back somewhere. Where do people poop in the 1800s? I don't know. It's not on the map. Probably there's an outhouse back here.
Well, I was thinking maybe it's the that room next to. I'm going to scroll up a little bit. Next to Sophie's room, maybe, or is that another?
That's a guest room. That's a guest room.
Oh, okay. Maybe this trap door. Maybe we poop in the trap door.
No, you can't poop in the trap door. Also, that trap door is in the ceiling. For the record.
I figured that out as I was saying it.
Yeah. No, you have. We are going to canonically establish that there is an outhouse here behind the storage area of the stable.
Okay.
And she will inform you of that, and then she will also say, your companion, the man in the next room, he wished me to inform you that there will be a special performance of the shadow play tonight for the two of you. It is up in the attic. It is called the Dance of Dreams. I understand you got a flyer.
Yes, I did got a flyer.
You two are the first guests.
Quite enchanting.
You're the first guests to come see it.
Ooh. How long have you been working on it?
Oh, months and months, probably since the beginning of the year.
Interesting. And is it just you who puts it on?
Well, yes, but you must understand what a shadow play is. It's not. I'm not. It's not, so to speak, a one-man show. I have prepared many machines and lights and backgrounds. There will be. It's truly a sight.
Well, I will be delighted to experience it, young lady. What time did you say we should meet? We should convene up in the attic?
Let us say 8 p.m.
And what time is it now?
It's probably 4. Because you did some research.
It is a bit of a good day then.
Yeah, you got the invitation first thing in the morning. You did your research before noon, and then you headed down here.
Okay. And is there anything else to do around the Witch Cat Inn?
What do you mean? Like chopping wood?
Like something to stave off boredom? Something that I could do other than sitting in this room like it was a prison cell for 4 hours?
Oh, well, I suppose you can go downstairs and talk to the other guests. Frankly, you sound like some sort of crazy future man who comes from a time when everyone was constantly entertained by small devices.
Oh, if only. If only. I did notice that there was a building out that seemed to be out back of the property.
Do you mean the conservatory?
Sure.
Oh, that was my mother's. Nobody's really been in there since she left.
Oh, my apologies for bringing it up then.
Oh, it was
What
last year.
What happened?
I will need a roll on that. Let's say
Something I'm really bad at.
I think it needs to be manipulation.
Excellent. Like I said, something I'm really bad at.
Yeah, because you're asking a teenage girl to reveal what happened to one of her parents. Yeah.
Yes.
I poke my head in. What's going on in there? No, just kidding.
No.
Yeah, nothing. She's like,
No, I expected as much. Like Isaac he cares about people, but he's pretty brusque.
There's no need to concern yourself.
A bit to be desired.
No need to concern yourself, sir. It's just that my mother was the gardener. She kept up the conservatory, and my father and I don't have much use for it.
Well, thank you for showing me my room.
Of course. Call if you need anything else, and I'll see you tonight upstairs.
We will see you later tonight.
She does gesture towards the trapdoor as she says upstairs.
Ah, not a place to poop.
What?
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm not going to spend the whole afternoon in my room. I just wanted to get, try and dry out a little bit.
I thought it was a little later than it is.
Yeah, I said 4 off the top of my head. That's probably the earliest it could possibly be is 4.
No, that fits.
Yeah.
Can I call that I brought an extra change of clothes with me so I can change into something a little less damp?
Absolutely. You guys knew you were coming to an inn. You knew it was storming when you left. You certainly would have brought changes of clothes, for sure.
I mean, I don't know why we didn't bring umbrellas, but...
Umbrellas? What kind of newfangled contraption is this?
He says, going to look up, when were umbrellas invented?
Yeah, parasol. Yeah. They've been around a while.
I imagine people have been doing this with their cloaks for a long time.
Yeah, once we get into some dry clothes, I will. Yeah. I will want to go back to the common area, the dining room.
Cool. This is a little bit of a bottle episode here.
Nope, that's all good. Bottle episodes for this are good.
I remember how in the early days of D&D, the early days of my D&D, I thought it was such a genius for coming up with the idea of a bottle episode where nobody could leave the inn because of a storm.
It's very original, Steve.
Yeah, I was like, ooh, what if it was all in one building?
Maybe someday, like, TV writers will catch on to that and use it to save money on their TV shows.
In my case, there was no money involved, so it was a whole different. All right, so are you guys both heading down to the dining room then?
Oh, wow.
What?
So I've got parasols dating back to around 2450 BC in ancient Egypt.
Now, maybe I'm just too much of a boy, but I think that parasols are different than umbrellas in that parasols are to keep the sun off and are not necessarily waterproof. Is that crazy?
It was under the umbrella article on Wikipedia.
I don't know if that's actual fact or if that's just how I've always interpreted the two words.
But yeah, let's head. So, you know what? I'm going to call a bit of a huddle with Clar. So I talked to that lady who was sitting in the corner, and she just seemed. I don't know if she's up to anything, but I think she might just be trying to like keep an eye on everyone else, being one of the two women in this whole building. But do you want to try and, I don't know, double team or go individuals on this priest and farmer guy down there? What do you think?
Yeah, I do have an interest in speaking to the priest. We did see that church tower off in the distance. I will assume that's where he came from. He may know the history of the area or any knowledge of any of our shadow beings. Maybe he knows something.
The priest?
That could be.
As for the farmer, you never know.
I mean, he could be local. Maybe he knows something about weird things going on with this building.
'Tis true. Well, who would you like to speak to? I have no real preference.
I'd really prefer. I'm not big on priests.
Not. I am not as. No, me neither. But
well, they get a little too proselytizing for me.
I can understand the structure of their lives. So yes, I'll speak to the priest.
So is it that Captain Nordenmorg is going to speak to the priest and Dr. Kaufman is going to speak to the farmer?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, we will start off at the table of the priest. What do you say as you walk up?
Hello, fine sir. You look
very priesty.
I'm just. Yeah, you look rather priestly. I was like, no, I kind of was like, hello, fine sir.
You look like a bastard.
I noticed the church tower to the south. Was that your parish? Is that where you're from? And would you mind if I had a seat, sir?
Oh, yes, please do join me. Yes, I am entrusted with the parish to the south, yes. Your name, sir?
Oh, I am Captain Clar Nordenmorg.
You seem as though you have trouble remembering your own name.
Yes.
Borky. What brings you to the Witch Cat Inn this evening?
Oh, well, we were traveling south. We did hear rumor of a possible show in the area. I don't know if you've heard anything about such things. Some entertainment for the locals.
I prefer to keep my nose out of other people's business, but I would say if you want to avoid trouble, Don't mention it to her father.
Absolutely. I understand. That's why I am whispering to you here, trying to keep my voice from being carried across the room.
Well, if you ask me, a girl should listen to her father, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to start trouble. You know what I'm saying.
Yes, I understand. But as a priest in the area, you may know the history of this parish. Is there any records of any unusual things about?
What do you mean by unusual?
As a religious man, how should I put this? Like maybe demonic presences or spirits that wish ill on others?
Well, I don't know why you're asking, and I don't like to share rumors necessarily, but you are a good Christian man. I suppose maybe you ought to be warned. The young girl, Sophia, she does share an interest in the occult with her late mother.
That is, what's the word I'm looking for? That is of concern. Yes. Hopefully, they have not brought forth anything with nefarious and dark intent.
Oh, I don't know that I necessarily believe in such things manifesting in the world, as some say, but I would say she is perhaps led astray. Her father does his best, but he is... Well, he's not a perfect man himself, and she is... There is nothing, you must understand, sinful or evil about an interest in the arts and creative pursuits, but in some the two become intertwined. I'm afraid young Sophia conflates the occult with her creative pursuits, as did her mother. Or perhaps it is us who conflates the two, and they are separate interests in those people. I know not. Nonetheless, her father is aware, but does not like to be reminded.
Yes, he seems rather the stern sort. I tried to speak to him earlier, and he took mild offense to me asking about the history of this house.
The history of the house? Well, I can tell you it's deteriorated a lot in the past year. The roof leaks, the floorboards are breaking, the garden has become completely overgrown. And you would think the man is letting his house go to seed because of the loss of his wife, but that is not the case. It is uncommon to come past here and not see him working on something. He is working very hard. Clearly there is some other force at work.
Interesting that you would say that, sir. We have come to... If there is such a force, maybe we can do something about that.
What do you mean?
Would I know how the religious folks of the area would react to knowing about the society, or maybe that they would know or be even in league in some way?
So you would know that you would know it's probably an even split between a three-way even split between priests who would condemn the society and priests who would laud the society and priests who would roll their eyes and not even believe in any of it. At this time in the history of the country, you know, the Vaesen, we're exiting a period when the Vaesen were commonly known and accepted. and entering a period when they are believed to be entirely fictional. And you're somewhere between the two right now. So as far as what you can expect from a priest you've never met before, hard to say.
Yeah, trying to tiptoe around the topic, but I'll just say, well, let's just say that me and my traveling companion have had some experience with such things. If we have stumbled upon another thing, we may be able to help. That's all I'm saying.
Well, the devil brings many sights to the eyes of those who are easily led astray. I cannot say that Sophia has fallen victim to any such thing, except for that her mother did. And perhaps passed some of it on before she left. You must understand the mother was strongly dissuaded from her occultist practices by the good Samuel, but one night he persuaded her a little too strongly, and shortly thereafter she fled. It was just last year that she took leave of this house for the last time, and a few months later we had word that she had sadly passed of illness in a far-off city.
This is unfortunate. Thank you, sir, for your insight and sharing of information.
Yes. You must understand it was not the discipline of Samuel that killed the woman. It was cholera. She was months later, you understand, by that time.
Yes.
But I do know nonetheless that Samuel regrets the tone of their last conversation.
Understood. Now, sir, your meal, would you mind if I paid for that? I appreciate your...
Well, I would...
A man of the cloth, I would gladly donate to your church and to your needs.
I would accept that gladly. Thank you very much. Lord bless you for your generosity.
Bless you as well, sir. Thank you.
All right. So, Dr. Kaufman, what have you to say to the farmer?
Dr. Kaufman will approach this farmer and say, "Sir, you look like someone who enjoys trafficking in rumors." And as I say that, I put down a couple cups and my tin of scotch.
I have been known to spread the word from time to time.
Excellent. It's my flask of scotch.
Yeah.
I unscrew it, pour a couple drams in each, take one. So are you from around here? Are you local?
Yes. My name is Jonathan. I have a farm just up the road. That's good stuff. I
hope so. It's name brand.
I come by here most nights. Samuel, the owner, is a friend of mine.
So you've known the family long?
All my life. We've both lived in the area as long as anyone can remember. Samuel and I grew up together. Best friends, as it were.
So, I don't mean to pry, and I pour a little more scotch into his cup. What of his wife?
Oh, Nora.
I had heard that she took care of the conservatory out back, but it didn't seem in the best repair when we were entering.
Well, yes, she did take care of it. I'm afraid that Sammy has little use for such things, and Sophia was not taught how to handle it. Nora was troubled. You must understand. I'm sure you have noticed. What is your name, sir?
Oh, Isaac. Isaac.
You seem a man of some education. I'm sure you have noticed that those of the fairer sex often get caught up in flights of fancy rather than paying attention to what is an honest day's work. Nora was mostly a good wife to Samuel, but she always seemed to find something to distract herself. The garden, the arts, the occultist books that she kept. By the end, they were keeping separate bedrooms, you must understand.
Oh. Distracting from what? I would assume that a place such as this would benefit from a well-kept garden, and
what use is a garden? They serve meals and beds. What use is a garden?
To make the place look nicer.
Well, I mean, they certainly grew their share of vegetables out there. Saves having to buy them from merchants, but an entire extra building, a conservatory, is nonsense. He did it to keep her happy, and as long as it was just that, it was no bother to him. But as soon as she began to buy books on dark doings, books on magic spells, books on the Vaesen.
Oh, the Vaesen. You don't say.
Well, she had many varied interests. She had relationships prior to Samuel's. An actor that she was with at one point. Samuel won't talk about it. He will grow angry, but if you ask me, it was that man that put all these ideas in her head.
Actors can be like that, from what I've heard.
Sons of bitches.
Ideas and flights of fancy.
All they do is pretend for a living, and people pay them for this. Meanwhile, good men like Samuel and myself are working our hands to the bone. And the women...
It's true.
And the women, they want the actors.
It's true. It's true. I say with my very moisturized fingers and palms as I pour a little more whiskey into his cup. So, what is going on? Like, this disrepair. Like, I keep hearing that Samuel has been working on this building all year, but it just keeps, I don't know, trying to disintegrate under his watchful eye.
I can tell you this. I've worked on this building with him myself. There's nothing about this that Samuel's doing. I believe there's a flaw in the building's construction. It's over 100 years old, you must understand.
Has it always been like this?
No, not at all. It just started this year, and it's falling apart quickly, but I must say, my own house is as old or older, and no such flaw is evident there. The fault is not with Samuel. The fault is with whatever
No.
ancestor of his built the place in the first place.
So it was his ancestors that built this inn.
I know that his father, his grandfather, his great grandfather, all ran the place. I not sure how far back it goes beyond. I know more than 100 years. Buildings.
And just talking rumors, I say, slipping a little more alcohol into his cup. It's been just falling apart since Nora left.
Well, yes, it's not exactly. It's not as though Nora was a magic spell that held the place together. It was a few months after she left that we began to see these problems. But, yeah.
How is she? I mean, is she still around?
Nora?
Yes.
No, unfortunately not. She died of cholera. We got some word some months after she left the place.
Interesting.
You see, Samuel, he lost his temper one night and beat her senseless. He gets that way. He's a good man, but he has a temper. And she decided, on account of that, to leave. Left her daughter. Left her here by herself. But she ran, and we got a letter a few months later that she'd died. Far off. Cholera.
Did anyone else just hear that?
No.
There's like a real faint noise going on in the background.
There's music on.
Okay,
Some
sorry.
music, yeah.
Okay.
Could be that was the only part of the music that got through.
Sorry, I just started hearing like this really faint like something.
Yeah, we got to dial in the music. I was explaining, I think, to Mia that... No, I was explaining to you, actually. The music is one thing on Friday nights, but it's another thing on Monday nights when everyone's remote, because it's hard to send it to you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's all good. So... Exactly.
Was that... whose cat was that?
That's Pookie.
That didn't sound like Charlotte. You guys realize that I can now tell your cats apart?
Well, I mean, it's like, different people, different voices.
Yeah. That didn't sound like Strelick.
Well, good Farmer Johnson, it has been a pleasure trading rumors with you. I hope the scotch was good.
Indeed. Was it scotch?
Yeah, it's literally green striped scotch.
Okay. I only ask because I recently learned that whiskey wasn't even that popular before like the 1800s in America anyway.
I went looking for. I was trying to because one of my equipments is either liquor or fine wine, and I'm not a big wine person, but I do like the occasional liquor. So I was like, okay, well let's get on the internet and figure out what's an old-timey brand like label of something, and I found green striped scotch.
All right.
So that's what I decided my liquor was.
Your research is canon because I have not done any. The scotch keeps him happy and for the moment quiet.
Good.
So you have, I will say that you have both finished your respective conversations around the same time. What will you do now?
You know what? I'm gonna try and make eyes at Clar and motion to head back up to the rooms.
Okay. Up
Or
to
at
the
least-
rooms you go.
Yeah, where's Olus? Olus? Did we lose track of him?
No, he is still sitting at a table where you left him. He is He is content to let the two of you do some investigating before any reconvening.
Okay.
Before we get to the rooms, is it still storming out?
It's starting to calm down a little, but yes.
So I'm gonna. So Isaac will share under his breath with Clar what he learned from Farmer Johnson, and with a strong note that, it genuinely seems like this building started falling, like coming to pieces, when Samuel's wife died. Not when she left,
For
when she
clarification, Jonathan is the man's first name. His last name is actually Gnejs.
Oh, Jonathan.
Jonathan is his first name. His last name is Gnejs, which is way too many consonants, but it's Swedish.
I'm just saying, I'm not even going to try.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I was picturing Kenny the whole time because I heard Johnson.
Okay.
I will.
But yeah, I will relate what or Farmer Jonathan told me with my own thoughts towards there's whatever is going wrong here might have something. I think it has something to do with his wife's death. That perhaps she had been appeasing whatever local gremlins were about, and when she stopped and left and died, things took a turn for the worse.
Yeah, I can confirm that the priest did say things did take a turn for the worse after they'd received word of her death. I wonder what sort of gremlin may be causing the trouble. I suppose there may be additional clues in the conservatory. You said that she kept plants out there, right?
Yeah.
The wife spent most of her time there.
But she's probably... If Sophia has some interest in what her mother was up to, she might have books to that effect. Sammy might have left Nora's room mostly untouched, and some books or records might be in there as well. And yes, I am implying we should maybe do a little bit of larceny.
Well, I do have... that was the other character I made. I was thinking I had lockpicks, but nope, that was my private dick that I made.
I'd like to retcon something real quick. If I can just throw in this to you, Dr. Kaufman, that Jonathan would also have told you Sammy has kept Nora's room locked since she left. Which I believe you two had already sussed out through experience
I kind of
with the genre.
If he had kept her room, it wasn't unlocked.
Yeah.
That he's probably feeling not great about the horrible thing he did.
Speaking of research, by the way, the research I did into what things were like in 1800 Sweden was, did married couples commonly keep separate rooms? I found no such indication, so it seems to be just them.
No, that fits.
Yeah.
They were having some marital troubles, so...
Yeah. The scenario itself does not say that that's weird, but I think it was weird.
So what do you think, Clar?
Your suggestion is sound. Maybe we can find our way into her room somehow.
Well, we still have a couple hours before this performance.
'Tis true.
It's right across the hall. What kind of lock is on this door?
It is no serious lock for someone intent on getting in. I mean, this is not a bank. This is not a fortress. This is a common inn. It would have to be picked or broken, which could be difficult, but I mean, you could maybe do it.
Yes, would that fall? That falls under stealth, correct?
Picking the lock would be stealth. Prying it
Okay.
open would be force.
Okay. I've got a pretty decent. I've got a 4 die precision on that stealth, so I could try to pick the lock.
Go for it.
I looked at Dr. Kaufman. I'm like, "Do you think you could do any better? Let me see if I can't get this to open."
We shall see.
I reach into my pocket and I pull out a bit of bent wire and kind of twist it up a little bit to try and make it functional for a lockpick. Oh, there are 2 6s. Wow, finally a good roll.
You pop the lock open very easily. And with that extra success, I will say that you are also able to sort of feel out how the lock works so that it will be no problem for you to quickly lock it again on your way out.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
That will be doable without a roll.
My lack of practice, beginner's luck, I guess I should say.
Well done, officer.
All right. So in you go. The room contains a bed, a desk, a closet with clothes, a bookcase, and a large number of paintings. Some of them hung on the wall, some of them leaned against things, but everything in here is covered with dust. It clearly has not been unlocked in months.
What do you say? I'll take the bookshelf.
Okay. I will flip through the paintings rather quickly to see if I see anything that resembles like a Vaesen. Maybe she had painted something.
You find nothing of any particular interest. Nothing catches your eye in the paintings. And Jason, you were looking at the bookshelf?
Yes.
You find a number of books on the occult here.
Yeah.
And while you are looking at them, you begin to feel a tingling in your body.
That's not that scotch coming back on you, right?
No, not quite. I will need you to...
No, I only had the 1 cup.
I will need you to roll observation to defend yourself against what's happening here.
Yes. You know, I'm going to push that roll.
Okay.
Bleh, bleh.
Books make me tingly too. That's why I had a ridiculous amount of them.
So whatever this tingly feeling is, it's making me a little frightened. Give me a sec so I can add conditions onto my character sheet.
I see your discomfort. I'm like, Doctor, are you okay? I guess I'd probably call you Isaac rather than Doctor.
So let's see if that helps at all. That helped not at all.
Okay.
Oh, goody.
Almost certainly it couldn't have, because you were rolling against 4 successes.
Oh!
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a bad one.
It's a bad one indeed. You find yourself enthralled, and I am going to actually send you what that means.
Again, I suppose I noticed that there's something going on with Isaac. Like, out of the corner of my eye, see him. Like,
maybe. I think the other players was terrible.
Doctor, give me the news.
Oh,
That's all I'm gonna sing. Don't need that coming back.
Well done.
oh, yeah. Okay, so Mia, what you're saying there about Clar noticing what's going on with Isaac? Yeah, Isaac gets a real just dark cast about him. And as he's looking through these books, he starts just muttering to himself. Just you can't hear it at first, and he gets progressively, quickly louder. Oh, this is just so we're not going to find anything here. None of this is going to come to anything. All you damned Lutherans and your stupid church. Everything's going to come to naught because of you horrible people. And as he says that, he just up and swings at you with his knuckle.
Lovely. Doctor got the Vaesen blues.
Yes.
Gonna sock me in the nose with those brass knuckles.
Well, I got. So, what does the bonus on weapons do?
It adds dice to your roll. Any bonus adds dice to your roll.
Okay. And I got one success.
One success, and then what does Clar roll? A defense, or is that just work?
I mean, I'm assuming there's some kind of defense roll.
It must be. Let's go look it up.
Yeah, because I've got the close combat skill.
We warned each other, I think, before the stream was on, that we weren't super clear on the combat rolls, but we are going to check it out. You have what skill, Clar?
Close combat. I don't know if that would apply to that.
Just to keep the game moving quickly right now, I'll say you just roll close combat, and if you beat his successes, then you successfully defend.
Okay. I'm really, really good at close combat. All right, let me grab those 8 dice real quick.
Damage go. Dodging it.
There are 2 successes.
2 versus Isaac's 1. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you find something?
My goodness, man. What has come over you?
Chapter 5. I see. I was looking in the wrong chapter.
Yeah, page 65 in the PDF.
Copy. 65 is the critical injuries table. Oh, I see. You want the other 65
in the PDF.
Yeah.
Not the book itself.
Gotcha.
So yeah, it looks like Clar would roll force or close combat to parry, depending on whether. So if you're not armed, it's going to be force. If you're armed, it's close combat.
Copy. Are you armed there, Clar?
I've got my saber, but it's not out. So let me just re-roll that. That's a few fewer. 5 instead of 8 on this dice. Let me roll. Oh, there is 1 success.
1 and 1. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
so that'll knock out. That'll deduct from my successes, and if you deduct all the enemy's successes, the attack misses.
Cool. So, Clar, you are able to dodge out of the way. You are free to counterattack.
I will try and just kind of restrain him and
okay.
Like Isaac, what the hell, man? And try and wrestle him and just, again, restrain him.
All right. So if you're not going to draw your sword, then that will be force again.
Okay. That's one success yeah.
Okay. So, Isaac,
Are we still in this round of combat?
we are still in the round, yeah.
Okay, so I make a four. I attempt to break free using force,
Okay.
and I do not. You have successfully restrained me.
Clara, as you restrain Isaac, you see the change that has come over him begin to subside.
Like, I mean, it's like the adrenaline has entirely left my body. I just go, Isaac goes a little slack for a moment. Just in your arms. Oh.
Are you okay? Are you yourself, man? Are you yourself, man?
I don't know what came over me. I got so angry. So angry at everything.
Obviously,
I got scared that we were, I mean, I got so, I guess I'm going to say, instead of angry, I got so scared about everything that was going on, and that we might not make it out of this.
I will ask, now that you have been possessed momentarily, or enthralled, I should say, I will ask for a learning roll from both of you.
What is that? Learning is logic. Okay.
And in this case, I will allow you to add your rolls together between the two of you. Hey, Alan's here. I don't know how long he's been here, but I just saw him.
I have a 2 and a 3 on my 2 dice. So
I have
diddle.
2 1s, 2 2s, a 3, and a 4.
Oh, Alan's raiding us with a party of 4. Welcome, gang.
Oh,
good to see you. Thanks for coming by. So no 6s, no successes on that roll. I will allow you both to roll again if you do so by checking through some of the books in here.
Yes, I will definitely look. I mean, I was already trying to look through those books.
All right, I can peruse those books too and roll a single 6.
That's one success.
Yes.
2 6s.
That's 3 successes total. Here's what you've got from looking through Nora's books. And I'm going to assume that you guys closed the door on your way in.
Yes.
Yeah, that would have been the smart thing to do.
The first thing that you find is that this enthrallment must be the work of a revenant. A revenant is a haunted spirit filled by hate against those who have wronged it in life. It is often invisible, but is known to take the shape of a monstrous being with sharp teeth and claws. The next thing you learn is that the revenant can draw the very life out of a person with its ghostly embrace. It can also control a person's soul using magic. And the last thing that you learn with your third success, a revenant can be banished by burying its remains.
Yeah, where are we going to find the remains?
That seems ominous.
As you are standing here, you have brought in with you a candle because it is not only a storm outside, but it's also getting dark now. The candle that you've brought starts to change color.
Oh.
It's becoming blue. And it is the light that it's emitting begins to go down. Down and down to the point where it's barely illuminating the space at all.
Clar, this seems bad. Perhaps we should leave this space and, yeah, I know, babe. I know. Reconvene somewhere less precarious.
Yeah, perhaps you should. Are you guys leaving Nora's room then?
Yeah.
You start to
Can I
hear.
call a quick? While we were looking through these books, did anything else seem out of place?
Not really. In terms of
Like
the room,
no, like dust that seemed like demonstrably less dusty than the other dust.
no, definitely not that.
Okay. I'm curious if Sophia Sophia was able to get into her mother's room at some point and get at some of her books.
You don't see any evidence of that.
Okay. Then yes, friend, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Back out slowly. Relock the door.
behind us.
As you get into the hallway, you start to hear a voice from downstairs. It sounds like Sammy's voice. He's calling out, "Wake up! Wake up! What are you doing?"
Let's rush downstairs. And
Well, yeah. We
Ocean
can't get
air.
down the stairs fast enough.
Yeah.
Clunk, 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 clunk.
In the room, there was the woman in the corner, the farmer Jonathan, the priest, and Olaus, your own contact who brought you in here. They're all sound asleep. All of the lanterns and even the light from the fireplace have gone dim and blue. It's an odd blue. It seems bright when you look directly at the flame, but it's not casting light around it the way a fire should. And you see Sammy standing next to Jonathan at the table, shaking him, trying to wake him up, and he will not awaken.
Sir, there is something deeply wrong with your home.
What? What do you mean?
You mean outside of the obvious? The light
Around you, man.
blue, but giving off no illumination?
What is this? What have you done to the place?
Nothing.
Why are my friends asleep?
What have you done?
What have I done? Who are you?
No one of consequence, but
Look to Isaac.
I must know.
I told you we are no one of consequence. We are here simply out of a desire to help and heal. What has happened here?
I know not what has happened here.
I don't believe that.
Roll observation.
So we are from
Observation.
the
Observation so much.
donkey
You know, I
dude.
should have gone for a more empathetic character.
I got a total of 6 on 2 dice. Yeah.
It doesn't count. You keep saying that, but it still doesn't count.
It does not count.
Yeah, I got a 2, a 3, and 2 4s.
Oh, booty.
Oh boy.
Reals.
I'm going to
Sir, I realize that this is perhaps something that will never be there will never be a good time for. What happened to your wife?
Wife left. She died of cholera. Why do you
Yeah,
want to know that?
That's what everyone keeps saying.
Do you think something else happened? Do you think that she was murdered?
That is explicitly what I am thinking. I am thinking that she was murdered and she is exacting revenge upon the place where her life was snuffed out.
Well, you are wrong.
Happened.
She was not home when she died. She ran from us. She left me and she left her own daughter and she ran away with actors and the like and she died.
Hmm. It sounded like traffic screeching to a halt. I'm inclined to tell this guy who we are.
Go for it.
I look to you, Doc, and I look back at Sammy. It's like, sir, I know you took offense earlier when I mentioned your the history of the house, but we are members of a society that studies and puts an end to such events. If there is an evil spirit about, we are here to help.
Society. Oh, God. God. I can't believe it. What have I done? He shoves past you. He keeps his eyes down, his face covered. He runs past you up the stairs.
Do we see Sophia anywhere here?
Yeah, she's behind the bar. She's wide awake, like her father, and she is paralyzed with fear.
I'll follow the father up the stairs.
When you get up there, that's his room there. He has already gone in and slammed and locked the door. You maybe catch just the sight of him before he slams the door.
All right. I'm like, Coco, sir, stay with us. We can help you. It may be dangerous to be alone.
You hear a clatter and a snap.
I want to force the door.
Roll it.
We said precision. That's 2 successes. Two sixes.
The door flies off its hinges entirely, and you see him hanging there.
Oh.
And as you watch him swinging back and forth, already dead, his neck broke.
Yeah, I was going to say I want to try and run and grab him and hoist him up, but okay.
No, I would say you know already. It's too late. You heard the snap from outside the door. No telling how he could even have tied the noose this quickly. But his shirt right before your eyes pops open, button after button, as the shirt is torn open, and there's blood dripping from his mouth and nose, and the blood drops down to his chest, and you see letters appear in the blood. It says Peary the Traitor.
Peary the Traitor. Peary was his grandfather.
Indeed.
Well, I'm a little shocked, but I'm going to draw my saber for protection, you know. And
actually, Clar, I will need a fear test from you, since you have seen this body. Fear test for seeing dead bodies.
The fear test is just a straight empathy check.
You can use empathy or logic, whichever's better for you.
They're the same. This is not gonna go well. I have the feeling. 5 and a 1. Nope.
Okay.
I'm afraid.
You are afraid. So yeah, you will need to. Let me jump ahead a little. For some reason, the fear test is never where I think it should be.
It's what, page 68 or something?
It must be that.
Mental critical injuries.
Yes, it is.
Oh, I had them bookmarked there and I ignored it. Okay. Yeah, so you are afraid. You become terrified. Roll a 6-sided die to see how many rounds it takes to regain control of yourself.
But also he needs to decide, or Mia needs to decide what kind of terrified he is.
Correct. After you roll the dice for the rounds, we will let you choose. It will be flee, freeze, faint, or attack.
Okay.
That's 5.
5
On the
rounds. So, again, flee, freeze, faint, or attack. That's page 68 if you want to read the details on each one, but they are self-explanatory.
Yeah, apparently attack's not much of an option as I don't see the creature,
Right.
I assume.
Right.
I'll flee from the scene. My initial thought was to cut his body down, but I'm going to flee the room.
Isaac, I assume that you followed Clar upstairs. Clar was the first to say that he ran upstairs. No, you didn't. So you're still in the dining room.
No, I'm still in the dining room. I'm approaching Sophia.
Okay, well then as you're approaching Sophia, I'll let you get to her first, but at some point Clar's going to come tearing back down the stairs.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Give me a little bit of time with her.
Yeah.
Child, what is happening here?
Everyone just fell asleep. The flames are blue. The flames are blue.
Does that mean something to you?
I don't know what it means.
Because yes, the flames are blue. You are not losing your mind.
I don't know what it means. Why won't they wake up?
I do not know at this moment. But I need to focus on me. Focus on me.
What?
Do you know anything about what's happening in this place? Because this does not seem like a untroubled household.
My mother left. I don't know.
Did you see her leave?
She left a note. What does that have to do with this?
At this point, I do not know. I have suspicions.
My father is violent. My mother left. This is a troubled household, but that does not explain this.
Well, your mother was into some heavy shit, child.
I don't know what that means. She just liked to paint.
It's some mazes and monsters shit.
What is that? Some sort of TV
Reference?
movie from the future?
Starring Tom Hanks. What?
Have you been dabbling in any of your mother's interests?
I'm gonna just speed run this part of the conversation to say that she starts babbling a bit about her shadow theater and so forth, and what you come to understand is that she learned from her father that there is little difference between creative arts and the occult. What she's actually been doing is just putting together a shadow theater. And she has guilt about it because of how she was raised, but she says nothing about casting spells or sacrificing anything or summoning anything. What she does tell you is that her inspiration for the Shadow Theater all came from dreams.
And the locals have been having nightmares. Yeah.
Child, I am not the easiest person to get on with. I know this. What kind of dreams?
The dreams told me the story. And they also showed me how to build the device.
What device?
The Shadow Theater,
Can you show me the device?
I was going to. You were going to come up and see the show tonight.
Can you show it to me now?
You want me to do the show now?
Really, I would like you to just tell me what your dreams told you, but if you need to do that through theater...
I suppose I can just tell you.
Tell me, what have the dreams told you?
At this point, Clar does come tearing down the stairs.
And I am basically shouting, Piri the traitor. Piri the traitor. Ah!
Sophia watches you. Where are you going to run to? It's still storming outside.
I'll run up to Isaac and like eyes as big as saucers, like, Isaac, oh my god, Piri the traitor. He's dead. He's dead. Not even in control of myself.
Keep your mouth shut in front of the girl.
Piri was my grandfather. He's been
flat, but
Piri is my great grandfather. He's been dead many years.
Yes, that's true.
What did you call him? The traitor.
Child, tell me about your dream. Focus on me. Tell me about your dream.
It's the dream is the story of the Shadow Theater. A young man wanders through Europe, seeing things that most people are not fortunate enough to witness. He dances with queens and visits Versailles and the Royal Palace of France. People perform his plays and praise his name, and life dances along like a dream. But the People's Revolution sweeps the land of France with grenades and fire, and those who were playing and singing end up dead by the side of the road. The young man flees the song of the guillotine. And as Sophia is speaking here, her eyes start to glass over, and her posture starts to relax. Body becomes stiff. And as she goes on, her voice gets deeper and deeper. Our hero returns home to a city in the north. He walks through its gates without shoes, poor and mute. The house where he was born is burnt to ashes and his family is missing. He kneels by the side of the road begging for coin, and no one knows that his name was once sung in the palaces of Europe. The voice at this point not only seems deeper, but seems impossible to be coming from the throat of this 16-year-old girl. This is a man's voice, and it is further echoing as though from the bottom of a well. Suddenly he sees things no one else does. Creatures creeping, flying, and crawling as the invisibles reveal themselves to him. When he points them out to others, he is mocked and beaten. A man picks him up from the street and has him bathed and clothed. The man's name is Albert. His mansion is a place of love and song. Our young hero performs his plays and sings to him for days and nights, and they eat fruit and drink wine. Albert introduces his friends. In the young man's dreams, they are dancing together. But the dreams lie. It was you. You brought me here. You asked me to sit down and talk. We spoke of the future of the world. I have the right to refuse. You said so and smiled, and then you butchered me like a pig one hangs from the ceiling. You buried my body in unholy ground without priest or consecration. Now dreams are all I have left. I gaze out over the audiences at the Palais Royal. I dance with princess. I eat cake. I look up into your eyes, Albert, and I let you take my dirty hand. You summon me to Peary's Inn. You make me a villainous proposition, and I decline. So you cut me up. I scream, not wanting to die. At last, you are back. Welcome. And as she finishes her story, a figure appears out from behind her, behind the bar. A rotting corpse comes rushing out from nowhere, out from the shadows, leaps over the bar and lunges at you. His body stinks of decay. The entire building starts to shake as if hit by an earthquake. And he whispers that last word in his rotten, decaying throat. He says, "Welcome." And the whole place vibrates and it lingers like a bad taste in your mouth. And I will need both of you to roll a fear test against 2.
Booty. I rolled a 6 and a 5. Okay.
Is any part of this a dead or damaged human body?
Technically not. I was weighing this since you said that earlier, but no, technically not.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna bring it up, but I'm not gonna argue it because, yeah, I will fully accept that. But I get a choice of whether or not I'm rolling empathy or logic, right?
Correct.
Where did that go?
And Mia, I heard you say something, but I didn't catch it.
I rolled a 6 on one die and a 5 on the other. So,
okay,
yeah.
That is a failure because you're rolling against 2.
Wait,
I needed 2 6s, yeah.
but there are 2 of us here.
Yeah.
So Clara should get another die.
Oh, is that how that works?
So choose either to tackle the situation with logic or empathy. The attribute value indicates how many dice you roll. Add additional dice equal to the number of player characters present in the scene.
Okay.
Oh,
So one more die. One more die.
Terrified players who are broken or already terrified do not count.
I will say that the 5 rounds have elapsed, so Clara's not currently terrified.
Okay. That said, is that going to give us 2 extra die or 1 extra die each?
I only needed 1.
1 each.
I rolled the 6.
No, I'm asking because it explicitly says add additional dice equal to the number of player characters present in the scene.
I'm interpreting that as the number of other player characters.
No, that's what I was thinking,
6.
but I wanted a call on it.
Yeah.
So I was hoping to maybe get more dice.
Yep. I did roll a 6 on that third die, so yay.
I never knocked the hustle. Okay, great. So Clara's not terrified.
We got freaking lucky. Good lord.
Limitations add penalties to fear tests. Oof. Okay, well, I'm losing that die.
What's your penalty for?
Mental conditions add penalties to fear tests.
What's your mental condition?
Frightened.
Well, you're not frightened unless you fail the roll.
No, I'm not terrified unless I failed the roll. I got frightened to push that check earlier.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So he's already on edge.
Copy.
Okay. Yeah. No, this is all good. I'm just trying to... Come on, baby. I'm looking at penny on it. Finally, you can push the roll by
You're terrified, aren't you?
Give me a sec.
Come on, game those rules.
I'm rattling my saber as we wait.
You know what? I think this is going to piss me off a little bit. I'm going to become angry to push that roll. I've got 1 success right now.
Okay. Just need one more.
Yeah.
All the others.
And I got 2 more.
Okay. I will say for your extra superpower for getting that extra success is that you may apply it to the next fear roll whenever that comes. All right.
So who is this fool running at?
He runs right past both of you, and you cease to perceive him.
Oh, God damn it.
He dissolves and vanishes. Shortly thereafter, just seconds later, Sophia seems to regain control of her body, but she is deeply shaken and she collapses in tears.
As is all I could expect from that.
Right.
Oh, beans.
Hmm.
Where could this guy be buried?
The garden.
That's garden.
I will give you this, Isaac, because of your investigation earlier. He said Sophia, in apparently this guy's voice, said several times the name Albert. And that is a name that you saw near to the name of Oscar in the records back in Uppsala this morning.
Well, Oscar Schwartz or whatever, yeah.
Yeah. Oscar, who let me remind myself what it was I told you about him.
Yes.
Do you have it written down? Because I know a lot about him. I only told you some of it. Yes, he was a society member that existed in the late 18th century, about 50 years ago, who worked as a writer and spent some time in Paris studying under Francois Dominique Séraphin and put on shadow plays for the court at Versailles at the Palais Royal. So this then is the second time today you've heard mention of France and of the Palais Royal. So this brings Oscar to your mind and also brings to mind the fact that a more senior member of the society was named Albert at the time.
Oh.
So Oscar's pissed.
It's fogged with fear and anger.
As you guys stand here pondering what to do about this situation, looking at Sophia collapsed in a puddle of tears on the floor in the blue firelight that barely flickers through the room, knowing that her father has hung himself upstairs, you start to hear the scraping of chairs. And turning around, you see Jonathan, the farmer, Father Claret, the priest, and the woman from the corner whose name you don't know is Lisa, along with Sven, the waiter, all standing to their feet, still clearly asleep.
What about Olus?
Him too.
Oh, okay.
And in fact, someone comes out of the kitchen. A man you haven't seen, clearly the cook, also asleep on his feet. And they move in an unnatural fashion. Their heads sort of point towards you and their eyes open. And they start muttering names under their breath as they shuffle towards the two of you. One of the names you catch is Albert. Another name is Katya. they mean to do you harm.
Yeah.
Not as much.
Child, do they seem to be moving towards Sophia as well?
Well, the three of you are basically together. Only the bar separates you. So yes, the one who came out of the kitchen is heading mostly towards her, and the rest are coming towards you two.
Child, are you still with us?
Yeah, yes.
Come over the bar. We need to get upstairs.
All right, she is able to get actually around the bar and come out to you guys real quick.
We should head to the attic. That seems like a good place we could barricade ourselves in for the moment.
Barricade?
Yes.
No, we have to get out of here. I will point out to you at this time that so got my mouse here. This is the bar, right? To get out from behind the bar, Sophia has to come this way, right?
Yeah.
The door is right here. The stairs are over here.
Yeah.
You guys are right by the exit of the building.
Yeah, and if we want to find Oscar's body, again suspect it's either in the probably not the conservatory that they've been gardening, so maybe the cellar over there. If we can find his body, or say a prayer over it.
I mean, I was hoping he'd stay with. Yes, let's head out if we're that close to the front door, let's head out the front door.
Okay. Yeah, you will head out the front door.
We're gonna try and drag her towards the back. Are they moving at us quickly or kind of not quickly?
They're George Romero's. They're shuffling.
Okay.
Zombie shuffle.
So, yeah, let's pull back. Child, which we need a place to hide. Pardon.
Hide? I don't know. The conservatory collapsed. The roof is caved in. We could go to the
cellar?
Where's my father? We have to get my father. Isaac,
no.
Isaac, you actually don't know.
He locked himself in his room.
No, Clar already said it.
No, Clar said, Peary, he's dead. Peary the traitor, he's dead. That's what Clar said.
Yeah, after you slapped me to my senses, I'm like, oh yeah, of course it's the grandfather.
Yeah.
It's like, your father is safely locked in his room?
We need you. Your father's upstairs. We need to find. They seem to be only after us. We need to find some place to hide and regroup.
The storage room, them. Behind the stables.
Okay.
Are you guys going to go that way then?
Yeah.
All right. So to get to the storage room, you got to enter through the stables. Coming in there, you see that there are 2 horses and a wagon in the stables. The horses are also asleep. And you're able to tear in to the storage room behind.
Girl, what do you know about your great-grandfather?
Peary?
Yes.
I know he wasn't a traitor. He loved our country.
He may have betrayed the man whose spirit resides in this place. That may be what that means. That Peary is not a traitor, but he betrayed this other soul.
I don't know anything about it. It's my great-grandfather. I'd never met him.
Where would you bury a body?
Here is
This
I
play you
don't
were
know.
putting on for us.
Yes.
Child, I do not have time to put this pleasantly. Was anyone dismembered in this play? Was anyone murdered?
Yes. Yes, the main character, Oscar.
What happened to their body?
They were cut up and brutalized in the most unholy ways. They were not buried.
Where were they? Where were their remains kept? Where were they put?
Below the ground, but not buried. Ah, you have to understand, it came to me in dreams.
Sometimes dreams reveal the truth of a situation.
In your play, where would you show the remains going?
Down into a well or a cellar? The cellar? You think that it's real?
Yes. Well, no, I don't think that it is real.
We know that it is real.
Is there a well on this property?
No, there's no well, but there is a cellar.
Is it
Have a cellar then.
What was that, Isaac?
Isaac was stammering. What did Clark say?
I suggest we go to the cellar and have a look. And then I'm looking at the map. Maybe that circle is a well.
No, it actually is the cellar. It's just you got to go into a. It's got a little building covering it.
Yeah.
I meant like the little circle right above the storage. That looks like it's probably a well.
Oh, maybe it is. It's not labeled.
It's not labeled though. Yeah.
But no,
labeled, then it's not important.
Yeah, we've done this before. She gestures. She leads you to the cellar.
Yeah, let's get to the cellar and see what we can find there.
Okay. Yeah, there was nothing of import in the storage room. I keep looking for the description of the storage room. That's what I've been flipping through this whole time, but there's nothing there. Point is, sort of I know I saw it earlier. That's why I'm flipping for it, but there's nothing of importance in the storage room.
You say if there's some sort of non-lethal weapon, maybe I sheathe my saber, but I'll keep it handy so I could slap people with the scabbard if I have
to. As you guys come back out of the stable, you do have to get past some of the sleepwalkers.
Well, okay, I'm gonna put this up here. Like, if these are Romero style walkers, like, if they're fanned out enough that we can't run around them, we should be able to run through them. And if they are bunched up enough, like unless they are right in the doorway of that stable,
they are not.
Yeah, we should be able to easily, I mean, even if it means we run all the way around the property, be easily able to circumnavigate these guys.
I will say, what's an applicable role to that? Because you're right, they're not bunched up. It's only going to take one success for you guys to get past them.
Like agility.
Agility will work. I will say, I will allow agility for dodging them, force for pushing past one of them, or stealth for just avoiding them. Any of those three.
Oh, I want to do stealth.
All right.
Well, I'm going to distract them with my fanciful footwork and agility roll.
You're fucking kidding me.
Oh, that's 1-6 on 6. So yeah.
Okay, Clark gets past them. Sophia gets past them.
Yeah, well, guess who's got to push himself more?
Oh boy.
Yeah, I
Physical or
cannot-
mental?
This is physical,
I thought so.
and maybe I'm not in the best shape. I should probably work out a little more. This is going to exhaust me a bit.
Yeah.
Exhausted. And let's re-roll every die that didn't come up a 6.
Which is all of them.
Yep. And literally get no 6s.
Oh my god.
Awesome. Okay, well, I'm going to get munched on a bit here.
You're going to get munched on a bit. They're not actually zombies. They're just sleeping people.
I see he's in distress, so I'll go back to assist him. But yeah, I've got to let him get beat up a little bit.
It's actually the farmer. It's actually the farmer that you spoke to, Jonathan, who you are caught by, Isaac, and he is going to roll a close combat against you because he's got some sort of damn farming implement, and he's going to attack you with it. And completely whiff it with a 1.
Oh, there's my 6s.
Well, you just dodge right the hell out of the way of that trowel or whatever it was. Yeah, you push.
By force, I parried him.
Yeah.
And then fuck out of there.
You're like, what is that, a tiny shovel? What? And then you run. And the 3 of you get to the cellar, which you are able to bar from the inside. So this is a root cellar, and as soon as you open the door, this just powerful odor of rot hits your senses, and there's this odd look on Sophia's face as though she's never been in here. There is a cave at the bottom of the stairs, much bigger than you would expect a root cellar to be. The walls are full of shelves of food, but they're crawling with all sorts of vermin, bugs, rats, everything. It's like it's as though the walls were just moving. There's so much stuff living on them.
Yeah. I bet that's where our food tonight came from.
And there is a strong wind in here, and Isaac, as you were being struck at by Farmer Jonathan, he was muttering, Albert, Katja, Hilma, my name, you let Piri kill me. And now that you're in here, you hear those same names and that same muttering in a different voice down here, just on the wind that's coming through the stairwell. And you have a vision, the both of you, of a man, a young man, standing before you in expensive clothes, with glittering eyes. He seems happy and smiling, but then his face turns angry. He looks to the side at someone you can't see, and then his neck bursts open as if cut by a knife, gushing blood, and he falls to the ground. He tries to scream, but it's just gurgling, and his body decays in an instant and is covered with maggots. I will need you both to make a fear check against 2.
That's gonna suck.
It's gonna suck. You're right.
Yeah, this is gonna super suck.
1 dice was cockeyed. Let me re-roll that.
I'm gonna assume I don't get any dead body bonuses on this.
I will give it to you, actually.
Ooh.
I failed. So yeah.
Logic.
Okay.
+1.
Sophia, by the way, faints right out.
Oh wow, my dice! I just need to get literally all new dice.
Can you push on a fear check, or is that
Yes,
only
yes,
you can.
But I
Yes, you
don't
can.
want to because I'm already frightened and angry.
Yeah, and you took a physical one.
Yeah, but I don't.
And
Is
exhausted.
that gonna? Yeah.
They don't like you need. They don't stack with each other. Physical and mental ones are separate. But if you have 4 in either one, then you're out.
No, I'm just saying for this fear roll, I only have to worry about the mental ones, right?
No, not necessarily. You can make the argument that you somehow physically push past the fear. Really, you can.
No, I'm saying mental conditions add penalties to fear tests.
Oh, I see. You're asking about penalties. Yeah. Then
no,
yes, that is correct.
I took that into account, but I didn't have to worry about my physical condition with that.
No, I thought you were asking if you could push yourself by taking a physical condition.
Yeah, no, that's But boy,
I failed my push, so I'm scared and now taking on a condition.
What condition will you take? Exhausted or angry are probably your.
Maybe angry at this point.
All right.
Because of the nature of this betrayal and how it's affecting our safety right now.
Yeah. So you each must choose whether to flee, freeze, faint, or attack.
Fuck. This is gonna fucking hurt.
Yep.
No. This is gonna fucking hurt.
Yep.
So, yay. I faint for 1 round.
Okay.
And when I become terrified, I suffer a number of mental conditions equal to the fear value, which is 2.
Yeah.
I'm going to freeze for 2 rounds. Yeah.
Okay. So Isaac, Clar, you see Sophia and Isaac both just pass right out after witnessing this horrific sight. What happens to you, Isaac? You're at 4 mental conditions now, right?
Yeah, no, this is gonna. I'm looking this right now.
You're broken, I think.
Oh, you're beyond repair. Okay.
So critical mental things. Critical injury, 64.
You have a torn body. So I'll say that you...
Nope, it's critical mental injury.
Oh, I'm on the wrong table. Yeah. Supernatural experience. Yeah. Obviously, that is exactly what just happened. 1d6 minutes.
Mental critical injuries. 22.
Frozen facial muscles.
Didn't you get 64?
No, I rolled a 22 on my D66.
Oh, I see. I misunderstood you. So you now have the Mask of Terror.
No.
I assume that means that you just look terrified for the next day or two. There's no time limit on it, actually, so forever.
Yeah.
Bummer.
Perfect. Yeah.
You look like Marty Feldman or something. Yeah. Like
yeah. No, that'll.
your eyes are just.
If we come back to it, I can figure out what I need to do with this. But right now, I got -1 to manipulation.
I think your face just looks like you're terrified for the rest of your life. There's no time limit, and yeah, you got -1 to manipulation. So
yeah, but if I can, I'm a doctor.
I don't think you could. You're an 1800s doctor. What are you gonna do? Botox yourself?
Here, let me give you a shot, doctor.
Well, I'm not going to do anything about it right now.
You know what'll work? Leeches.
Yeah.
Leeches are fucking great, baby.
Well, you're out for only 1 round, right?
Yeah.
Well, You awaken to see Clar standing there. Sophia's still unconscious. The door is barred, but you can hear the sleepwalkers outside pushing against it, shuffling against it. And the rats and bugs and such are still crawling the walls. And there is the dead body of Oscar. 50 years dead in front of you.
That's some funky shit right there.
Oh boy. But he's all in one piece?
I mean, look, I'm not a biologist. He's dead 50 years. Figure it out.
I mean, as opposed to he's a pile of body parts.
Yeah, he's not supernaturally preserved or anything. He's probably a skeleton and some clothes. He is lying in the center of some sort of ritual circle that normally you'd have to roll to detect it because it's so old, but we're running late. So, yeah, it's there.
I mean, does this ritual circle look like anything that I would... Oh, fuck, I bet. That I would know about?
Roll a learning check.
Yeah, well, first I gotta, like... Does this critical injury clear me of all my conditions?
I'm going to have to say, yeah, it does. Without knowing any other...
Yeah, well, otherwise I'm doing this at like a -4.
Yeah, go ahead and assume your conditions are cleared by the broken status or by the critical injury. We can look it up later, but that's my ruling for now.
So learning?
Yeah.
I'll take the 2 6s.
So the 2 6s are fantastic for this. You can tell that this person was sacrificed as part of a spell to accomplish something much larger. You are not able to understand the full ramifications of what this spell means, but you are able to discern that the collapsing of the house has something to do with it. This spell is causing the collapse in the house. And also, the spell here is something that was done to Oscar. It was not done by Oscar. You know, his sacrifice was part of it. And if you were to take his body from here and bury him in sacred ground, then first of all, that would cure his revenant status. And second, it would probably break the spell.
Yeah, I mean, I'm already thinking of, like, just getting that, but, like, are there any, like, gunny sacks or anything we could get that body in?
Sure.
If not,
it's a root cellar. There's bags of things.
Yeah. I mean, just something that isn't going to immediately fall apart because it's been, like, bug and rat eaten.
Yeah, you can absolutely find a bag that will not fall apart, sure.
Yeah, no, I'm going to get him in that bag, and...
Okay, so...
Can we appeal to the spirit to clear the way, allow us to take his body and not be harassed by his zombies?
You know, you have seen his spirit manifest right here in the cellar, so you can absolutely try to appeal to it. As Kaufman's finding a bag.
Hey, go for it, you turkey.
Would that be like a manipulation or an inspiration roll?
Absolutely a manipulation roll.
Okay.
Something you're really good at.
1 success.
So what do you say to him?
Oscar, we are sorry for what has happened to you and for the reasons we cannot comprehend, but please allow us to take your remains to the church south of here. We will bury your body in an appropriate manner and free you from this prison, this afterlife that you have suffered. for so long.
As you finish speaking, Oscar's form again shimmers into existence in front of you, once again looking alive and well-dressed and young. And he stares at you, Clar, and says, You're not Albert. I thought you were them. Thank you. And you notice that the scratching and pounding at the door above has ceased.
I'm so angry for you. Thank you. Thank you.
How long has it been?
I cannot say. This young lady's grandfather was responsible for this.
Great-grandfather,
excuse me.
Isaac sort of calls out from the corner of the circular room.
I was so angry.
Sammy.
I was so confused. I thought it just happened.
You are responsible for some very bad things, but we will make sure that your body is properly buried. I'm not sure what we're going to do to help this young woman.
I thank you. And he shimmers out of existence. You are free to bag up his corpse. And as you guys head up the stairs...
Out of the circle.
Yeah, the circle does nothing to stop you.
The circle must be broken.
Yeah. What happens to the house once we get him out of the circle?
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
You are able to get him up the stairs. Nothing immediately obvious happens to the house. After you get him down the road a bit and to the church, which I assume is where you were headed.
Yep.
Let's see, where's my thing?
Poor Sophia.
There is, of course, a cemetery at the church. That's a drawing of it. And you are able to inter his remains in sacred ground thusly. Upon your return, you find that the other guests of the inn are awake, confused, do not remember what happened. Sophia's found her father. And unfortunately, he remains dead. But she takes over ownership of the place. And in the months that follow, you learn that the dilapidation of the building has ceased. That with help from Jonathan, the roof is now in good repair. Sophia's running the place by herself successfully. Sven, the waiter, and also the cook have stayed on. And things seem to be put to rights down at the inn. You do not know what this spell was that was cast using Isaac's or Oscar's murder. That is something that perhaps you would have to find out in the future. But for now, you have freed this particular inn from the curse that it was under.
Hooray!
The witch cat is free.
We shall have to research what it was that Perry did. Maybe there's something in our library back home.
Yes.
Yeah, Isaac is genuinely curious about why these old society members did this.
Well, I can tell you this. I, Steve, your game master, do not know. Because this scenario explicitly says this is something you cannot find out in this scenario. You have to keep playing.
Okay. I feel like we should set up like a fund for Sophia, give her some money as recompense for the evil that was done to her
Now I have that would be great, and you have the means to do it, being the person that you are. I have this book in hard copy, but I think I bought it in a bundle of some kind, in a PDF, and I do have one of the adventure books that follows this. So if you would like to continue this at a later date, we can do so and find out what the hell, Albert.
Yeah, I would not mind that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind figuring out if I can cure this critical wound I've sustained.
That would be interesting.
Yes. But that's, for later. Can we get XP points?
Yeah, I was thinking about that just now. I was about to say it. We need to do the XP. What is the page that's on?
25.
I don't know if this means anything, but I keep thinking of this guy as being Clark as being Dalton's character from Penny Dreadful, the TV series.
Oh, I haven't watched it.
Oh,
Dalton's character.
Was that Josh Hartnett's character?
He was the gunslinger from the West.
Yeah, that
Dalton's
was Josh
character was like the benefactor. He was the rich guy that hired everybody.
I got most of the way through that, and I can't remember who he is.
Well, let me ask you guys your experience points questions. You're going to get 1 point for every yes. And I'll just throw them at both of you at the same time. So first question, did you participate in the session? You get 1 XP automatically if you're just here.
Yeah.
2, did you confront any Vaesen?
Yes.
Yes.
Did you identify a previously unknown Vaesen?
No.
I don't know.
You did. You never... Yeah, his name was Oscar.
It.
And he was Revenant or Revenant.
Yeah. I will interpret that to mean unknown to you.
Okay. Then yes.
Yes. See, both you did that. Were you affected by your dark secret? I'm going to say probably no for both of you. Did you take risks to protect other people? Absolutely not. You guys ran every time. What did you do,
I got
Isaac?
hurt so many times trying to protect people.
You got hurt to succeed on your rolls. Which one of those was a choice to protect someone else?
Literally all of them.
I was trying to go back to help Isaac get away from the shamblers, but...
That's true. You did say that, but it would turn out to not be necessary. All right, you can take it. Have you learned anything? And if so, what?
We've learned that maybe the society isn't as goody two-shoes as we maybe thought it was.
Yeah, exactly. They're a little darker than... Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then number 7 is, did you develop something in your headquarters, which is a thing you can do in this game, but we didn't even address, so no.
Nope.
Not yet.
And then 8, did you perform an extraordinary action?
Does failing a lot count as an extraordinary action?
Unfortunately, failing a lot is very ordinary.
Yeah. And...
I don't think I performed an extraordinary action.
All right. Well done, you guys. Thank you both for finally playing this game that I've put on the schedule 3 times. I had a great time. I don't know why. The fact that it did end up on the schedules 3 times made it seem like it was some sort of deep-seated desire of mine. And it wasn't at first, but it did kind of become one just by virtue of no one signing up for it over and over.
I don't think I signed up for the first time, and then I signed up for the second time, and it was
but you were the only one. Yeah. Well, I appreciate you both. Vaesen is over. Friday night is Shadows of Arconia 2. We will be doing episode 5 after a 6-week hiatus. So I'll see everyone then. And then next week is Death in Space, which Mia will be running, and Jason will be playing in, and so will I. Wait, that's Jason. That's me. That's how that goes.
I believe Meredith has signed
And
up.
Meredith is joining us for the first time next week, if all goes well. So that'll be fun. That'll be episode 3 of our little Death in Space series. We had a couple of other players in episode 1. I'll see if I can get either of them back.
Yeah, Alan and other young
Alan and Max, yeah.
Max, yeah.
Max, who is now developing his own game, which we will be playing in, I think, September. It's on the schedule. So, yeah, we'll see everyone on Friday and again on next Monday. And thanks for watching.
Yay.
Good night.